On today's episode of Scammers Busted, a woman impersonated a state governor's wife to steal hundreds of millions of naira. Together with her husband, they went on a scamming spree. Meanwhile, somewhere in Kano State, Nigeria, a serial fraudster has finally been jailed, putting a stop to his fraudulent activities. But first, a 31-year-old man, Chijoke John Okoye, has just been arrested in India for being the mastermind of a sextortion scam that drove a female doctor to take her own life. It started with a simple friend request. Chijoke used fake profiles to connect with people on Facebook. Pretending to be a handsome, successful young man on social media, he built trust with his victims before moving their conversations to WhatsApp. Chijoke's strategy was devious and effective. After gaining trust, he convinced one of his victims, a female doctor, to share explicit photos of herself. From the moment he received the photos, Chijoke switched from being a loving friend to becoming a nightmare. He immediately started demanding for money and threatened to make the woman's private pictures go viral if she doesn't pay up. The unfortunate woman paid several times, but Chijoke kept demanding for more money. Sadly, on March 1st, 2025, the emotional torment became unbearable. Unable to see a way out, the doctor ended her own life. In her final words, she exposed the blackmail. When her family heard of the blackmail, devastated, they quickly reported the crime, and so the police launched an immediate investigation. The police got a break when they traced the WhatsApp number Chijoke was using to the Palam colony area of India, where he was eventually arrested. Upon his arrest, authorities found a laptop, 5 mobile phones, and 8 SIM cards from different countries. Also, they discovered that Chijoke had been operating over 3,000 fake profiles, preying on countless unsuspecting victims. Now, authorities are still investigating to find out if Chijoke acted alone or if he was part of a larger cybercrime syndicate. Please, always keep your private pictures private. Never share it online, even with those you think you trust. And most importantly, seek help if you ever feel trapped. Suicide should never be an option. Meet Hafsat Kabir Lawal, a woman who allegedly stole almost 200 million naira from her victims by convincing them that she was the wife of the Katsina State Governor, Fatima Diko Rada. With the help of her husband, Baba Sule Abubakar Sadiq, Hafsat registered new SIM cards and set them up on Truecaller to display the governor's wife's name. With these new SIM cards, Hafsat and Sadiq reached out to a bureau de change operator, claiming they had dollars to sell at a lucrative rate. First, they convinced him to transfer 89 million naira, then another 108 million naira, making it a total of 197 million naira. Once the money was deposited, it was too late. The funds were reportedly funneled into an account owned by 2 other accomplices, Abdullahi Bala and Ladani Akindele. Eventually, they ran out of luck when the Department of State Services, DSS, caught wind of the scam and handed them over to the EFCC for prosecution. Now, Hafsat, Sadiq and their 2 partners are facing trial for fraud, money laundering and theft. They are currently locked up behind bars. Finally, in Kano State, Nigeria, a fraudster, Bulaman Abdurrahman, has just been jailed for impersonating the EFCC and defrauding his victims out of millions. In June 2023, Abdurrahman convinced his victims that he was an auctioneer working with the EFCC. He claimed he had been authorized to sell off government-forfeited properties, including an uncompleted building in Kano State. Believing the scam, the victims paid a total of 35 million naira. But there was just one problem. Abdurrahman wasn't an auctioneer, and he definitely wasn't working for the EFCC. It didn't take long for the truth to come out though. A petition was filed and EFCC investigators quickly uncovered the fraud. Apparently, this wasn't even Abdurrahman's first crime. He had been convicted for a similar scam in 2021. During his trial, 3 witnesses testified against him. The evidence was overwhelming. Even though Abdurrahman pleaded not guilty, the court found him guilty, and so he was sentenced to 7 years in prison without an option of fine. Additionally, he was also ordered to pay back the entire 35 million naira to his victims, or else he will be sentenced to another 7 years behind bars. If a deal sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Always verify auctioneers through official government websites and never trust someone just because they claim to have inside connections. And that's it, guys. If you found these stories interesting, please like and subscribe. It helps this channel grow. Thank you for watching to the end, and see you next time. Remember, crime doesn't pay. Stay safe.